This driver is just super flashy. The Nike Vapor Pro from 2015 is an interesting choice for someone who hits the ball fairly consistent and who wants this wow factor in the driver. In fact, the YouTuber Peter Finch recently did a video about drivers where he recommends the Vapor Pro as the driver with the highest X factor. If you want to watch his video, I'll put a link in the description below. But for now, let's see how the driver does in the hands of a 12 handicap. And maybe more importantly, what your golf buddies might experience on that Sunday afternoon round. I collected all the information from this video and some more in a nice PDF for you to enjoy. The link is in the description below. The Vapor Pro came out in 2015 and it was inspired by no other than the greatest of all times, Tiger Woods, and his young Padawan, Rory McIlroy. The original price was about $400, but nowadays you can get a used one for $150 or even less. The target player of the driver is a better player, someone who hits the ball pretty consistently. This is something I realized in my testing. It's not very forgiving. But then again, compared to something like a TaylorMade M1, it's almost more forgiving actually. There is an alternative, the Nike Vapor Speed, if you're not as consistent yet. So if you want to flash your friends on the first tee in your Sunday afternoon round, make sure you actually hit the ball consistently. Or get the speed version. When you hit the Nike Vapor Pro, you will love the feel and the looks of the driver. If you hit it in the sweet spot, it feels super smooth. If you don't, it will give you very direct feedback on the fact that you didn't hit it in the center. In terms of looks from the top, it has a very classic pear-shaped head, something that probably most better players enjoy. It reminds me a lot of the Titleist drivers from the 2000s that I used to have in my bag. On the top, the only signs of flashiness are the swoosh logo and the carbon inserts in the crown. If, however, you turn it to the bottom, this is where all the flashiness is happening. This yellow, green, neon green color is super aggressive. Something I like in a driver. And on the bottom, you can also see all the technology that Nike packed into this driver. In terms of technology, the first thing the Vapor Pro has is the so-called covert cavity back technology, which basically plays around with the moment of inertia and places more emphasis on the edges and a bit more weight up front. And supposedly the result is that off-center hits are better and you get a low piercing ball trajectory. As I already said, off-center hits are pretty bad. But if you do hit it in the sweet spot, the ball flight is pretty low and piercing, so partial thumbs up for this. You can also adjust the loft, which nowadays is common, but back then was not as common. And there's much more technology in this. Most of it is regarding more ball speed, better stability. If you want, you can read about it in the PDF, but don't bore your friends with all this marketing shebang that hasn't changed over the last probably 20 years. Rather, let's talk about something that they and you are also interested in, and this is distance. It's not a beast in terms of distance. At least not for me. I have a swing speed of just above 100 miles an hour, so slightly above average. And I'll show you the numbers here, but yeah, it's not a beast. Before we get into the actual numbers, please remember, I'm not doing scientific testing here. I'm just a guy who goes on a range with a bucket of range balls, hits them, measures the ball speed, the club head speed and carry distance with a Garmin approach radar. So take it with a pinch of salt. Also, if you made it this far and you actually find some value in this video, please subscribe. It will help me a lot to continue doing these kind of videos. So thanks a lot for this. But now, numbers. here they are. I also included the Titleist TSI 3 and the TaylorMade M1 from the same day, just for comparison. Interestingly, the club head speed was the lowest in the Vapor, with 101 miles per hour. And obviously, the ball speed then was also the lowest. Even though, interestingly, the efficiency or the smash factor was the highest out of the three. So maybe it is more forgiving than it felt like. Nevertheless, it was the shortest driver out of the three, and it's almost 10 yards shorter carry than my current driver, the Titleist TSI 3. If you check out the PDF that I linked below in the description, I also included the numbers of Rick Shields when he tested this driver about 7 years ago. Alright, so who is this driver for? Well, as I said before, I recommend it highly for someone who hits the golf ball very consistently and who wants like this flashiness, but at the same time a classic design from the top. If this is not you, then maybe you should check out this Asian beast over here and watch this video now. I hope you have fun, enjoy, and talk soon.